Coming up next on AVID Achievers, a visit to the 2015 AVID Student Leadership Conference at Northeast High School. Hello, I am Dot Arita, the host of AVID Achievers. Today we are joined by Jackie Wilford from Northeast High School. Northeast High School hosted the 2015 AVID Student Leadership Conference this year. Jackie, tell us what the AVID Student Leadership Conference is.
It's a student-led conference that we hold annually in our county. Different high schools get to host it, and the students plan everything from asking for donations to presenting the sessions at the conference. The high school students actually create the sessions and lead the sessions, and all middle schools and high schools are invited to attend.
Great. And all of the high schools that attend create a session for participants as well, correct?
Correct.
Very good. So let's take a look at some footage from the AVID Leadership Conference this year. This year's AVID Student Leadership Conference was hosted by Northeast High School. Miss Wilford and Miss Pearson, the AVID teachers at Northeast High School, put together a conference for over 300 AVID students. The theme of this year's conference was Reach Your Peak Performance with AVID,
which ties into our human performance signature at Northeast, Healthy Mind, Body, and Soul.
Students from each of the 31 middle and high school AVID programs came to Northeast High School and attended a general session where we had a visit from Mr. Liverman. We had 3 student AVID speakers, and we had a guest speaker who shared his message with our group. Following the open session, students retired to classrooms where leaders from each school presented sessions for attendees, which were student created, student planned, and student led. All of the sessions tied into the theme of reaching your peak performance and were very successful.
Welcome to Northeast High School.
Northeast is proud to host the 12th annual AVID Student Leadership Conference.
Students from all 31 middle and high schools attended the conference. As students arrived, they were greeted by Northeast High School's mascot and students. Students were also welcomed by a Northeast High School student violinist, Matthew Frazier. Students were led into the cafeteria where breakfast was served and networking was encouraged. Students were able to meet AVID students from other schools and catch up with AVID teachers from their past schools as well. All participants attended a general session in the auditorium.
Welcome to the 12th annual AVID Student Leadership Conference. My name is Will Clark, and I'm a 12th grade AVID student here at Northeast High School. And this is my 3rd year in the AVID program. I have applied to Shepherd College, Washington Adventist University, and Lebanon Valley College. I plan to study in business marketing.
Remarks from the superintendent's office were delivered by Mr. Liverman.
It is my pleasure to introduce the Anne Arundel County Public Schools Department Superintendent, Mr. Arlen Liverman.
I feel so honored and privileged to be here this morning. Very quickly, I had a late meeting last night and went to bed about 1 in the morning, and I was exhausted. So I got up about 4:30, went to the gym, thought that would energize me. It was not working at all. All the way here this morning, no exaggeration, I struggled to just keep my eyes open. I hope there's no police officer here, but I slapped myself a couple of times so I could awake. But I would tell you, the minute I walked in this building, I was energized and then some. What an incredible, incredible group of young people we have here. I'm so honored and privileged to be here this morning.
Following Mr. Liverman's remarks, AVID students from Meade High School, Central Middle School, and North County High School shared their personal journeys.
My name is Eric Whitehorn. I am an AVID senior at Meade High School. My academic journey has patches of greatness. Therefore, it would be a lot for me to write a speech about how easy it was for me to achieve greatness. Until 8th grade, AVID and college both weren't in my future. I was known as the class clown and the troublemaker in elementary and throughout middle school. I was the kid that everyone had put a label on. My excuse was that I was always too young or I didn't know any better. And that became a repeated line to use against my teachers and a lot of myself, making me feel better about the trouble I got into. I remember looking around at all my friends who were doing well in school, making honor roll, getting good report cards, and asked myself, why is it so hard for me and not them? I knew I could be a better student, both behaviorally and academically, and also be a better son to my mom. The school I transferred to, MacArthur Middle School, became an IB World School, which at the time I didn't know was a big deal. By my 8th grade year, I joined the AVID program, and I was put into a class with people and students who faced the same obstacles as me, something that I had never experienced before. Despite my small successes, trouble seemed to always find me, leading me to small troubles to eventually legal troubles. I felt like I was back to square one. I consider myself to be the cause of all my problems. As I stated before, I didn't even think that going to college was in my future at all. Entering high school, my mother feared for me each day. During my junior year, I went to an AVID campus visit to Morgan State University. Suddenly, I could see myself on this campus. I had removed the poster of all the LeBron James pictures and Stephen Curry's and replaced it with a Morgan State poster. Going into my senior year, I had 3 beautiful people by the names of Ms. Sellers, Mr. Robinson, and Ms. Goslin to support me as if I was one of their own child. They gave me the additional strength I needed to do well in school. Mr. Robinson stays on top of my grades and lets me know when I need to step it up. Ms. Goslin is my mom at school who's always keeping an eye on me and telling me to pull my pants up. Ms. Sellers is the glue that pulls it all together. I have the love and support from them, as well as the other AVID students and my mom as well. This is one of the greatest feelings I've ever known.
I'm Charlie, an 8th grade AVID student at Central Middle School. 3 years ago, when I was in 5th grade, making honor roll seemed like a dream that I would never fulfill. College was only a word, not even something I even thought about. However, luckily for me, my dad heard about a program called AVID. The theme of our conference today is Reach Your Peak Performance with AVID. What does peak performance mean to me? It means becoming a good leader and making the best grades I can and contributing to society. Because of being an AVID, I've had lots of leadership opportunities that I would have not had otherwise. I now have a goal of attending college, and I am confident that I will reach that goal. Field trips to colleges have opened my eyes to what college is like and how college will help me reach my long-term goals. There is no downside to AVID. When I entered middle school, I was like a shattered piece of glass, and AVID was like the duct tape that helped me keep it all together.
I am Mahalia, and I am a senior at North County High School. When I was growing up, I lived in the projects, and it was the only family I knew. It was the kind of place without swing sets. It seemed as if we were all related in my neighborhood, and if you weren't related, 9 times out of 10, one of our grandmothers or even great-grandmothers grew up together, lived in that neighborhood or another low-income neighborhood nearby. The way I saw my neighborhood may be different from the way most of you remember your first neighborhood. I recognized it as family, but life wasn't easy, and at the time, it was just my mom and me. When I turned 6, my mother lost her job, the cabinets were even more bare than usual, and we were being threatened to be evicted. A lot of our help came from the strong bonds we had with our family, especially my grandmother. She is truly a blessing, and without her, I don't think standing here would be possible. That was around the time we moved to North County High School. When I waltzed into Ms. Goforth's AVID class on the first day, I felt like I was walking into someone else's living room. Ms. Goforth worked really hard to make AVID feel like a family environment. We participated in plenty of team-building activities like Pictionary and a compliment game. Through this, I learned that my new schoolmates were warm and welcoming and that many of them came from similar situations. They made me feel like I had been in the same classroom with them all year. I wasn't alone. Over the summer of my senior year, I was preparing myself to take 3 AP classes. I'm used to always taking one, but this year I wanted to try and challenge myself. It was 3 weeks left of summer, and I hadn't completed any of the summer assignments. I felt overwhelmed. I texted Ms. Goforth, and she made me feel better because she reminded me that there's an easy way and a hard way, and every day you have to choose the hard way, especially if you want to end up living in a nicer neighborhood. She also taught that it's easier to get homework done in a library instead of a loud house. So I sent her a picture of my first library session and my completed AP assignments. She also pushed me to take a Jumpstart class at AACC. I am taking an instructional technology class to make sure I like it as a major before I actually get to the university of my choice next fall. And I'm proud of the person I am as well as the person I'm becoming. I never thought I would be in the position I'm in today. Honestly, 3 years ago, I didn't even know if I would make it to 12th grade with a decent GPA. I am doing everything I knew I could and more, including sports, work, and a Jumpstart class at AACC. I am proud to have a strong support system amongst my AVID family. AVID has given me the opportunity to meet and surround myself with people as the same goals as I do. I am currently applying to Lincoln University of Pennsylvania, North Carolina Agricultural and Technical, and Towson University. Even Miss Goforth's college, Frostburg. Don't worry, Miss Goforth, I plan to text you as I'm freaking out about my first college homework assignment.
The keynote speaker for the conference was Chad Sanchagrin, a 1992 graduate of Northeast High School. Chad is an international speaker and sales trainer for Forest Performance Group. Chad added to the message of all students reaching their peak performance in his address of the students and in sessions designed for teachers and students following the opening ceremony.
Chad was recently recruited as an international speaker and trainer for Forest Performance Group. Chad travels around the world speaking and training sales professionals to reach their peak performance, as he was able to do in his sales career. Everyone knows that if you ask Chad how he is doing, he will respond back with living the dream. He is motivated to help others every day, to transform average salespeople to extraordinary sales professionals. Chad strongly believes that with the right mindset, anything is possible. Chad resides in Bel Air, Maryland with his wife, Kim, and twin daughters, Mackenzie and Madison. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Chad Sanchagrin.
Good morning. Before I even start, I want to take this all in. It was 23 years ago, almost the day, I stood in this very spot, on this very stage, and gave a commencement speech at graduation. And I have met, I've spoken to 3 United States presidents. I have met every celebrity from Michael Jordan to LeBron James to you name it, I've met them, and I've never in my life been as humble that I am right now. Surreal feeling to know how your life works and how in life you get second chances. And I was a high school student who, from the outside, looked like it was living the dream. I had a great life. I was the class clown. I was the first to graduate in my class. And before you get excited, it wasn't because of my grades, where I was the senior class president, so I actually got my diploma first. So when I say I graduated first in my class, it's really not a lie. I'm going to tell you today, I'm going to tell you a couple stories. And then at the end, I want you to be able to extract the message. And I guarantee you that if you're fully in for the next 25 minutes, fully in, be committed to what we're talking about, be committed to being in the moment that you're in right now, I guarantee you that one of these messages will change your life. Will change your life. And if I would have known back then what I know now, man, how different my life would be. You know, the people laughed at what I said. If they laughed at what they saw, then they wouldn't see how terrified I was inside. All my friends were going off to college. All my friends were had to seem like they had their life planned out. I was terrified. I had no clue what I was going to do. I played basketball, and I was offered to go to college and play basketball. And as one of the biggest regrets of my life, I turned it down because I believed I wasn't smart enough. I believed it wasn't in my cards. See, fear is the number one crippling disease in America is fear. And if you don't believe that you have the power to be great, that you were born to be great, it doesn't matter what anybody else believes. You have to believe it. You are born to do amazing, phenomenal, unbelievable things to improve the lives of everyone around you. That's what you're born as. There's no conveyor belt of life where you're born and they go smart, dumb, successful, unsuccessful. It doesn't work like that. You were born to be great. But we get into the circumstance all the time because we believe that we are not enough. We tell ourselves these stories that I'm not good enough. And the edges build up. What's amazing about this program, the more I learn about it, the more I see it, is that you have these amazing teachers, these amazing counselors that are there to help chip away the edges. As the rock builds up, all they want to do is chip away the edges and get you back to your most beautiful, authentic self. But we have to believe it.
Students were moved by Chad's wise words and motivated by the message.
I just want to speak on behalf of myself that I am truly inspired by his words today, and I think all of us really appreciate what he did and came out here and spoke to us and really inspired us to go and achieve great things. Thank you, Mr. Santrigan, and this is our gift of gratitude.
I honestly believe this is the first thing I've ever gotten from the school that was not a detention. I swear. So this is going in my mantle, so thank you very much.
No problem.
After the general session, students attended chosen sessions on leadership topics led by high schools throughout the county. Presenters from the schools were able to see their planning come to fruition in their sessions.
It was a way to allow people to warm up to each other first before we went on with anything, to get used to each other and try to create new friendships. But it's more of a team building strategy that we're doing right now to allow them to see who would be like the leader in the group to unravel themselves, or who would be like the encouragers, like, oh, step over here, you got it, and who would just be the people that would listen and just simply take out the action and just listen to what's being told.
We all made the plan together, and we actually tested it out on one of our sophomore AVID classes to see how it worked. They have bigger groups, but I think having bigger groups is easier because they got untangled in like 5 or 6 minutes.
South River High School's session built on the message of the keynote speaker.
And I want you guys also to notice, I told you guys to pick a word, and I realize this article is about words for positive qualities, but I said you didn't have to go off these words, you could choose your own, and everybody focused on the positive qualities of yourself. Nobody went and said that anything bad about themselves, and everybody's focusing on the positive.
That speech like I gave earlier with the I am enough sort of relates well to this, because if you just think of yourself as not being good enough, that's not really a positive quality. So if you can describe yourself with these positive qualities, you're just furthering yourself through that.
Arundel High School had participants using clues from reading and teamwork to solve a mystery.
Okay, so that's an alibi.
His last time seeing Miss Johnson was around 7 p.m.
Does anyone need?
So if you guys don't understand anything, that is evidence. Or
alibi was.
Alibi.
What were they doing with the scream?
The last one. What was your suspect doing when he/she heard the scream?
Maddie Howard from Severna Park High School reflected on her feelings about being a presenter.
I really loved presenting. I thought it was a really cool, unique opportunity. I thought it was, really nice to kind of impart some of the knowledge that we've learned from the AVID program onto younger students and really try and help them out in the process, because, as we all know, it was really stressful. So I think it's nice that we can make it a little bit easier on them. I guess I just didn't really expect how into it the students really got. They really liked. We did a musical chairs thing, and I think that they really enjoyed that, and I think that was really cool just to see them really be passionate and involved about what we were talking about.
T.O. Cox from North County High School also enjoyed presenting.
Was more confident after the lesson. We gave a small talk about basically a speed dating. So we had to make small talk with people that we didn't know. We had to find common ground. They learned that small talk can help you and benefit you down the road. Build your relationships from employers to college roommates to even people that you don't even know that can help you down the road. My small talk tip is not to get into controversial topics. So when I say controversial, I mean politics and religion. A lot of people are very heavy with their opinion of politics and their religion, and they like to support it as much as they can. And that's one tip I should say, that you shouldn't get into religion or politics.
The day ended with lunch and entertainment by the Northeast High School Jazz Band and the Northeast High School Dance Company. Alexis Andrews from Chesapeake High School reflected on the day.
I really liked it. It was a lot of fun to hear from the different speakers, very inspiring. Different stories to see how AVID students
we're all very unique, but we all come together as a big family, and I really enjoy that. I had a really awesome time. I learned different things, and it was very enjoyable to collaborate with other students.
And when asked what was learned at the Student Leadership Conference, T.O. Cox gave the response that was shared by many.
That I am enough. That's what I got from it. To not doubt yourself. We all need confidence, and we all have a struggle, and we just need to find something that we need to overcome, and we all have obstacles.
So it looks like it was a great day. Tell me how you came up with your theme for the conference this year.
First, we started by having a little contest in our classes in AVID at Northeast and having students come up with ideas. And then once we pared down the ideas or voted on the ideas in our classes, we actually presented them to the ICST signature board for our school. We're human performance, healthy mind, body, and soul, and so we ended up with a theme of reach your peak performance with AVID. So it combined signature, reaching your peak performance, with AVID.
Great, and that signature is unique only to Northeast High School. So it made sense for you to incorporate that into your theme for the day.
Correct, correct. And we definitely partnered with our signature, Jackie Dunn. She did a great job getting everybody together with the business partnerships and helping us also ask and see if anybody wanted to be involved in that day, which they did, which was wonderful.
Great. So tell me a little more about the planning and preparation for the day. It seems like a large event with a lot of preparation beforehand.
It was. We started at the beginning of the school year talking about theme, talking about what we wanted to see, trying to gather food prices and come up with ideas for sessions, inviting our signature team to be partners with us, going to meetings with signature. And it seemed like we had a long time to prepare, but as it got closer, things really became intense. We reached out to the community and asked them for donations for our bags for the day for each participant, and we were lucky enough to get some nice feedback from them as well. So at the end, there's a lot more to do than at the beginning, I think. Just we come up with the ideas, get things going, get people involved and excited about the conference, and then that last week is like the crunch time and getting everything ready for the actual conference.
Great. So it sounds like your student leaders really rose to the occasion.
They definitely did, yes, and some leaders that you wouldn't expect. So that was really refreshing to see some students come out and help that you didn't expect to be leaders.
That's great. So what do you think were some highlights of the day?
Definitely our keynote speaker, Chad. He did a wonderful job in inspiring the students to really pursue their dreams and know that they really were enough, that they didn't have to be anything different than what they were to be successful. Working hard pays off. Listening to his story was fabulous and I think really inspired a lot of people. And the takeaway of having the bracelet that said that I am enough, I think is just a nice anchor and reminder for the students that had left the conference.
Great. I really enjoyed seeing the student speakers as well. They always add a lot to the conference.
Definitely. They were very inspiring, and students who didn't think that maybe they could relate to anybody else in the program definitely could take away things from those students and realize that, you know, we're all in this together, and maybe to search out support through teachers that maybe they didn't before.
Great, great. And I think the family environment of the AVID program really shined through that day.
Yes.
Letting people, you know, see how much they depend on each other and support each other in our journeys. Were you able to attend any of the sessions, or were you pretty busy that day?
Unfortunately, I did not, and I wish I could have. That's one thing I missed from not being in charge. It was attending the sessions, because I always get a lot of takeaways from the sessions. But all the feedback from the students was terrific. It seemed like everybody had enjoyed the sessions that they participated in, and they can take that information back to their schools, because there's only 10 participants from each high school and 3 to 5 from each middle school. And they take it back and they share that with the students in their AVID program and in their schools. And I think that's the way the message gets out, and these leaders go back to their schools and lead the other students.
Great. Who are some of your supporters at the school that really helped with the day?
Definitely Mr. Williams helped make everything possible as far as changing schedules. We had a new schedule this year. with our Eagle Hour, and just trying to manipulate our schedule to fit the needs of the AVID conference was a little tricky. And Miss Delfs, who is our business manager, she really helped in setting up rooms for us as well. And Miss Dunn with Signature, couldn't have done it without her, and Miss Pearson, my AVID elective teacher. And we had a lot of support at our school with entertainment. We had wonderful vocal ensemble with Miss Jester as the director, Mr. Zimmerman and his jazz band, as well as Matt Frazier, a fabulous soloist, greeting people. We had our mascot greeting people at the door also. So
And some dancers.
And dancers at lunch, which was fabulous. So it was definitely a team effort. And our culinary team made a nice breakfast for the teacher chaperones as well. So I couldn't have asked for a better team of people to work with.
And I think one of the real highlights for me was getting to see your junior ROTC program.
Yes.
Seeing them come in with the colors and do their thing for the first time at Northeast High School for our conference, it was very exciting.
Definitely.
So that was really something to see.
Yes, Captain Long has definitely enhanced our school with that program. He's done a great job, and these kids really have come together as a group and shown leadership in their own group. And there are AVID students that are involved in that program, which is very exciting, and it makes me very proud.
Excellent, excellent. So what do you think was the big takeaway from students that went to the conference?
I think just thinking about things that maybe they haven't thought about, just thought-provoking Socratic seminars, or knowing how to prepare your team or pick your team for the future of college or post-secondary opportunities and careers was very important. I think they saw that in many of the sessions throughout, and a lot of the sessions tied into their signatures back at their schools as well, which was fabulous. So students got a taste of a lot of different things.
Okay, excellent. And I think that everyone could see the preparation that went into presenting a session. Even if you weren't a presenter, you could appreciate the work that was done by the presenters to pull off a very successful session. So thank you very much for joining us today. We really enjoyed our AVID Student Leadership Conference this year, and we look forward to another one next year.
Thank you, Dot.